Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The New Breed, Book 7 of the Brotherhood of War series, by W.E.B. Griffin, performed by Eric G. Dove. Part 1. 1. The White House, Washington, D.C., 12 December 1963. Lyndon Baines Johnson, the President of the United States, was sitting on a small couch in the Oval Office. Following the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy 20 days before, Johnson had acceded to the presidency. This was enough time for Johnson to grow to like what he was doing. The president was holding a squat glass dark with Kentucky sour mash bourbon whiskey. He had removed his jacket, revealing that he held up his trousers with suspenders, and he had draped his arm on the back of the couch and his right leg on the cushion. Walter Cronkite, reporting the evening news, spoke of events that caused the President of the United States to shake his head and mutter an obscenity. And then the CBS broadcasting system paused for the delivery of a commercial message. As the President raised his bourbon to his mouth, the door to the Oval Office opened. "Colonel Felter, sir," the President's secretary announced. She had been watching the CBS News on a small television in her office, not so much in order to pay attention to the news, but to watch for a commercial. The President would prefer not to be interrupted while the news was on the screen. The President looked over his shoulder at the open door. An Army officer stood there almost, but not quite at attention. He wore a green uniform, and his leather-brimmed cap was under his left arm. Silver colonel's eagles were on his epaulettes. A combat infantry badge was over his breast pocket. Beneath that were the wings of a parachutist, and below those were 4 rows of colored ribbons, 3 ribbons to a row. There was another set of parachutist wings, which the President correctly guessed to be French, on the other breast pocket, together with the American and Korean presidential unit citations. Below the pocket was the insignia which indicated the wearer had completed a tour of duty with the General Staff Corps of the United States Army. The colonel stood 5 feet 7 inches tall, was in an advanced stage of male-patterned baldness, and weighed 148 pounds. He was carrying an attaché case. It was obviously well-traveled, and in several places the leather had been gouged and torn, exposing the aluminum under the leather. It was the first time the President had ever seen Colonel Sanford T. Felter in uniform. When Kennedy became president, Johnson had noticed Felter now and again around the White House, but had then dismissed him as just one more baggy-suited intellectual, a specialist of some kind on the outer edges of Jack Kennedy's staff. But he had soon sensed there was more to Felter than what showed. Felter was more even than just another soldier alone.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?